Hey everybody, it's Pamela. So I reached the end of my 2-week Pound of Cure Metabolic Reset program, and I have to say that while it was difficult in the beginning, it got easier as each day went by, and I was able to stick to the program 100%. So by the end of the second week, I had lost another 2.5 pounds. So on Monday when I weighed in, I was at 216.5 pounds. I lost a total of 7.5 pounds over the 2 weeks of the reset portion of the program. So that very strict phase is up, and now it is, the intention is to add in some of those things that were banned for during the first 2 weeks, gradually, or not gradually, but sparingly. Perhaps having dairy just a couple of times a week instead of every day, that sort of thing, depending on how your weight stabilizes or doesn't stabilize, whether you continue to lose weight. So I wanted to talk about what the Pound of Cure, the first phase, did for me. I know I just wrote down a couple of things. I should be able to remember, but I probably won't. Okay. Number one, it made me more conscious of what I'm eating and putting in my mouth. I think that part of my downfall after the honeymoon phase and after I was really losing a lot of weight was that I stopped being so conscious of what I was eating. I sort of started eating what everybody else in my family was eating, and to the wrong things and the wrong amounts, the wrong proportions. So although it was very strict, it did help me to become acutely aware of what I was eating. In fact, when I was at my daughter's house last week, which was for the second week of the program, I was making different things for my granddaughter to eat, and at one point I was making something for her, and she likes cottage cheese. You know, she's only 17 months old, but she loves cottage cheese. So I was putting some on a plate for her, and then there was a little bit left on the spoon, and I was just going to stick it in my mouth and eat the rest off before I put it in the sink. And then I thought, oh, wait a minute, that's dairy, I'm not supposed to have it. So those are the sort of things that I would have just done without thinking about it, you know, licked off the spoon, or obviously cottage cheese isn't a bad thing, but when it's something else, it all adds up. So it made me more conscious of what I'm eating, what I'm buying, and what I'm preparing, and the way I'm preparing the foods. It reminded me that I can be in control of what I put in my mouth. Sometimes when I'm going to make this strictly about me, sometimes when I eat what I shouldn't eat, or things that are trigger foods for me, it seems like I feel less in control of what I'm eating and less in control of the choices that I'm making. So this helped me to remind myself that I do have the power to be in control of what I put in my mouth at all times. And the third thing is that it taught me new ways to incorporate veggies in every meal. You know, the first, and I would like to echo something that I think Tanya, VSG Tanya, pointed out in her video, that, you know, none of us are experts, none of us are nutritionists. I am nearly 3 years out from gastric bypass, so things are a little different at this stage than they are when you first have weight loss surgery. So if you're newly out from surgery, you know, during the first year, and you're having great success, do what your doctor tells you to do. Do what your nutritionist tells you to do. But for me, being over, nearly 3 years out from surgery, my weight loss had stopped, and in fact I've had some regain. I needed to shake some things up. So I feel like adding So to get back to my original point, you know, usually the emphasis is not on vegetables during the first year after surgery. You know, the emphasis is always protein, 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 vegetables if you have room. But now I have more room than I did during the first year after surgery. So there's plenty of room for vegetables, and that needed to be more of a focus for me, and not some of the processed things that I had gotten into eating, like Quest bars and just different things that are, you know, geared toward weight loss surgery patients in some instances, but they're not necessarily the best thing to eat if you're eating 2 or 3 a day, which I was doing. So this taught me new ways of incorporating veggies, different kinds of veggies, different ways of preparing them. I learned that I do not have to have cheese in every omelet that I make. You know, I can make a vegetable omelet and just have it be the vegetables and the eggs, and it was actually quite good. I didn't need to put that slice of cheese on there. So I also learned how to use my Vitamix. I paid a lot of money, bought a nice Vitamix, and felt like I didn't really like it. I didn't really use it, and in some conversations with some of the people that were also doing the Pound of Cure, they suggested that I not use the kale, that I use spinach instead, fresh spinach, and that has made the world of difference. I love fresh spinach, and the smoothies to me are much better, and I enjoy having one of those every afternoon. It really seem to give me a lot of energy. So I'm happy with what I you know, what has happened during the 2 weeks that I was on the Pound of Cure metabolic reset. I intend to keep some of those changes in my life. I have gone back to putting Splenda in my coffee, but I'm still using the almond milk rather than the dairy milk. However, I do not put Splenda in my tea anymore, iced or hot. So I've cut down on the amount of artificial sweetener that I use. I probably won't cut it out. I really enjoy my coffee with a packet of Splenda in it. I only use one, but to me it makes it much more enjoyable. So other than that, I do see myself incorporating, I'm not going to say incorporating more dairy, but allowing myself to have dairy once in a while, not every day. You know, dairy is good for you, and especially after surgery. I know I was able to eat a lot of cheese, and I didn't have any, it did not slow my weight loss, but as I get further and further out, it does not seem to have the same effect. It is a lot, often very high in fat, and that does make a difference after a while. So I'm not going to eat dairy cheese quite as much, and definitely keeping off the processed foods, and mostly trying to eat lean proteins, beans, veggies, fruits, things that are good for everyone. So that's my wrap up. I had a great time visiting with my granddaughter. Oh my gosh, but when I got back, I was sore all over. I felt like I had quite a workout. She, as I said, is 17 months old. She's, you know, you forget how they're constantly on the move, and, you know, picking her up, putting her down. I'm getting on the floor and getting back up and carrying her up the stairs and bending over the bathtub for the bath, and I loved every minute of it, but I sure felt it when I got home. So I'm going to try to keep up my videos, hopefully on a weekly basis, or maybe, you know, once or twice a month, whatever I can do. I'm trying very hard to get off this regain and get to my goal, which seems to be floating, but I'm going to say right now my first goal is to get back into Wonderland. As I said, I was 216.5, so 17 pounds, and I'll be back in Wonderland, and I'm determined to do it, and I need some support, so I appreciate everyone that watches and everyone that gives me support. I really do appreciate it, and thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.